What's up, you guys? So it's been a while since I've done a shoe review video. I know I say that a lot, it seems like, recently, but to be honest with you, the past couple of weeks have been a little rough. I had a foot injury on my right foot. It was a heel injury, not exactly sure what the reason was, but had that going on and I was unable to run. But in the process of kind of reorganizing my garage a little bit, I was going through my shoes and I realized that there's a shoe right here that I have yet to review, and I have no idea why I haven't put it up because it's already got 50 miles on it, well over 50 miles, and it's become one of my favorite training shoes, running shoes, just overall shoes, and it's actually this right here, the Nike Zoom Fly 5. Yeah, the Zoom Fly 5. So into the shoes, the stats and features on this, how it has gotten on with me over the past 50 miles. I do want to say that I purchased the shoe with my own money. I got it on a crazy good deal. I'll talk about that at the end of the video as far as its price point is concerned. But yeah, this shoe has just been a pretty awesome shoe for me, just right off the bat. So, but yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind, if you haven't done so already, if you're new to the channel, please click that subscribe button below. Also, click the bell for notifications on when new content drops. As you saw yesterday, I did a video on my Subaru and the exhaust system. So there is some car content that is on the channel. So if you guys are here for the running shoes, yes, I still do running shoe content, but that is also a passion of mine as well. And we do some other stuff. I'll do some training videos and stuff like that, especially as we start rolling into the new year. But please click that subscribe button. It really helps me out. I've got an important video that's going to be dropping hopefully soon. Just got to kind of do some things with it. But yeah, let's kind of get into this shoe, Zoom Fly 5. So little history on the Zoom Fly 5, the Zoom Fly series, I guess you could say, is this shoe is kind of the pioneer of what became the tempo trainer category. So shoes like the Endorphin Speed, the modern version of the Boston 10, the Asics Magic Speed, you know, those type of shoes that are kind of your tempo trainers, that can kind of cross over into marathon training, is because of the Zoom Fly. And when the Zoom Fly was created, it was created to be a more readily available version of the Vaporfly when the Vaporfly first came out. Now, and again, we're talking back in, what, 2017, I think. When the Vaporfly first came out, there wasn't a whole lot of people that could get their hands on it. It wasn't like a readily available shoe like what we see today with the Vaporfly versions. But the original Vaporfly, the Vaporfly 4%, they kind of created a carbon copy, but a cheaper version to make for regular runners. So it had a very similar upper to the Vaporfly. It had the same fly plate that was in the Vaporfly, but the midsole foam was Cushlon foam, the same foam that was used in the Pegasus at the time. So this kind of was a shoe that you would see regular runners using on their race day, because it actually transitioned really well as a race day shoe for marathoners. And as they progressed, you had the Zoom Fly Flyknit, which had a Flyknit upper. People loved the Zoom Fly Flyknit. And then you had the Zoom Fly 3, Zoom Fly 4, which switched the midsole foam to React foam, but still had the fly plate, still had a lot of similarities to the Vaporfly, but you could definitely tell it was more aimed for training and definitely geared toward like everyday use. And now we have the Zoom Fly 5, which still has some of the traits, but it's not exactly a Vaporfly counterpart like it used to be. So let's get into the stats and features on this thing. So it does have this mesh upper, which is surprisingly breathable. You should be able to see some of the porous holes that are in here, which is very nice. You do have some extra support right here in what is called the vamp, where it kind of extra material to make sure that you don't have any rubbing on your foot or that your toe rubs through it. It's a shoe that's built to last a lot longer than, say, your race day shoe. But the breathability has been good. It does not have a gusseted tongue, but it does have extra fabric right here on the medial and lateral sides. Here's the lateral side of the shoe. You'll see this yellow color right in here. That's extra fabric here and also here on the inside. And I'll even show on the inside of the shoe. Let's see right there. There's that yellow fabric right down here. And this attaches to the lace loop system to give you a little better lockdown over the midfoot. But it is not a gusseted tongue. That being said, the tongue is actually fantastic. It lays on top of the foot really well. And the lockdown is really good. Now coming back into the heel counter area, you do have a decent amount of padding. It's nothing overly done, but it's there. It's decently padded. Has a really nice heel cup, and it's a really stout heel counter back here, which is a surprise for something that is of the Tempur Trainer category. Usually they're a little bit flimsier, almost racy, kind of like. This definitely has kind of a slimmed down daily trainer kind of feel to it. So it's not overly padded, but you have padding in the right places. It's comfortable. It has a nice width on the toe box. I went true to size on this, and it's awesome. Like toe length wise, I don't need any more space. It fits perfectly. Width wise, like I said, it fits really nice, but it fits almost like a racing shoe where it's a little bit snug here, but that's kind of what you want from a shoe that's a tempo trainer. But yeah, and as you can see, I use the race loop on this shoe. It seems to work really well for me. Runner's loop, some people, I can get away with not using it, but I just prefer it in the shoe. No idea why. So take that for what it is. And yeah, so the upper has been really good. Now the midsole, this is where things get a little crazy because the midsole is, well, it's different from previous years. So we'll get into it because you'll see right here, it says, I believe it's right, yep, right there, where it says Zoom X on it, right there. Now, it's not true full Zoom X, nor is it fresh Zoom X. So there's a lot of like mystery going on here. So basically, it's the same concept of what's in the Vomero 16, which is you have a Zoom X core with SRO2 midsole foam as a carrier foam on the outside to provide a little bit more structure, a little bit better stability, and also some resiliency in here. Now the thing is the core that's in here, unlike the Vomero 16, is not fresh Zoom X. It is crushed up Zoom X or scraps of Zoom X that when they're on the manufacturing floor, say cutting vapor flies into the shape that they have, or the alpha flies into the shape that they have, the little scraps that fall on the floor, it's almost like they kind of pick those up and glue them all back together into one big block and then mold a core out of it. So you'll see in this little window right here, you'll see the crushed Zoom X up in there. You can actually see there's a little chunk right there missing. It is a little plastic. So the midsole core here is this kind of crushed up Zoom X. And because it's kind of glued together, I am going to say that it's not as soft as what you would depict a Zoom X core to be. If you have ran in the Vomero 16 or if you've ran in the Nike Invincibles, it does not have the same kind of feel to it. Now, it does take a while for this shoe to kind of break in. I am going to give it that because like once you get that Zoom X to kind of expand and maybe like open up a little bit because of the glue that's kind of holding it all together, I definitely feel like it definitely becomes a softer shoe. So right off the bat, I definitely felt like it took about 20-ish miles for me to break it in. So for some people that may be a little bit lighter of a runner than say I am, this shoe might be a little bit firm for a while. It might take you close to 50 miles, but it does come around. It does soften up. And inside here also is an updated fly plate that's in here. Now, Nike does not confirm what kind of plate is in here. I'll be honest, with the way that it feels and the flexibility of it, it feels like it's a carbon-infused TPU plate like some of the other shoe companies are using. So it does have some firmness to it, but it's also not as rigid as a carbon fiber plate. So you do have that kind of going for you in this shoe. If you want a little bit of flexibility, it definitely works out really well. Now, the stack height on this shoe, it took me a while to find a stack height on this shoe, but it appears that it is supposed to be, I believe, 43 millimeters of stack height in the heel. It is a, surprisingly, from what I've read, it's a 6 millimeter drop, which then makes this a 36 millimeter in the forefoot. And there's a lot of stack height here, so that very well might be true, but being that it is over 40 millimeters, which there are a lot of shoes that are going over 40 millimeters now as trainers. You've got the new Asics Super Blast, you've got the Super Comp Trainer from New Balance, you've got some of these other shoes that are going over 40 millimeters as like super max stacked shoes. So it wouldn't surprise me if Nike kind of did that with this shoe, as it is a trainer to go with the Alphafly Vaporfly. Now going to the outsole, I already kind of showed you a little bit. You got this little plastic window right here, again, kind of more of like a showpiece to this shoe to show you like, hey, there's that crushed up Zoom X sitting right in there. That's it right there. And then you got some exposed foam here in the midsole, and then you got this Nike kind of rubber in the forefoot and in the heel. Pretty decent amount here. Would like to see them put what I would like to call speed holes in them, where you've got like some holes that are in here to kind of reduce that rubber weight a little bit. That being said, on pavement, on dry pavement, this does provide really good grip. Even in some gravelly areas, it does provide some really, really good grip. So I am very impressed with the way that this is handling. Now, in some damp conditions, was a little bit sketchy, and definitely if you're going on some trails, light trails, or gravel areas, heavy gravel areas, gravel paths, whatnot, it might be a little questionable as well. So definitely its versatility across the spectrum, not very good, but it definitely does the trick as far as a trainer shoe. Now, here's the thing that I've been getting on with this shoe. So I've used this for quite a few different runs. I've used it for long runs. I've used it for tempo runs. I've used it for some faster interval workouts. I've used it for just some daily miles, some easy miles, all that kind of stuff. So I've used it all over the spectrum. And I do have to say that this is a surprisingly versatile shoe. Now, I will say that the interval effort's a little bit lacking. The midsole foam definitely compresses a lot the more you push into it. And after a while, when you're really starting to get to those like really faster efforts, I would say kind of if you're doing like 400 meter repeats where you're going at your fast effort for 400 meters, the shoe kind of feels a little muddled. And that's where I kind of feel like this thing would be a little flawed. But if you're going for like that nice steady tempo effort where you're just, trying to log at your marathon, half marathon, 10K pace, this shoe is definitely going to hold that very well and be super comfortable doing it. It's a surprisingly stable ride. That's another positive thing about this. It's you can see there is some creasing in my shoe, and again, I can't remember. I don't have the documents up for it, but it's definitely over 50 miles in the shoe. And there is some creasing in it. That being said, it doesn't really mean anything. It feels good. It feels fine, but it's a stable ride, and it's a wide platform in the forefoot and even in the heel compared to other Zoomfly variants. This is definitely a wider platform, so you definitely have some stability going in with this shoe. Having that heel counter that's on here definitely provides some extra support as well, so it really aids to the versatility of this shoe. Now, the price point on this shoe is $160, brand new. I was able to pick this up for like $84 on one of the awesome sales that they had just before the holiday season. So this shoe, it was I think it was like $112, and then there was like another like 20% that you could take off, which brought it to like 80 something bucks for the shoe. So under $100 for this shoe, it's definitely worth it. Even I've seen it still on sale right now, going for about 120, 125. I still think that's worth it. At 160, I would definitely lean towards maybe some other options out there, particularly a shoe like the Puma Deviate Nitro 2 versus this. But this is still a very good shoe. It's very versatile. It's durable. It's going to last a long time. It's breathable. This is definitely a shoe that you could take, do some 10Ks, do some half marathon races. do some marathon races. This is a good shoe for, I think, an average runner. Somebody that's not going to be, you know, racing for a win, somebody that's not going to be, but, you know, maybe just trying to put down a fast time at in a comfortable shoe. That's where I really feel like this shoe kind of fits in, because that's where it's really working for me. It's just a comfortable shoe that it's smooth, it rolls through its stride really well. You get a nice pop off the toe. And again, it's comfortable for those long miles. So again, versatility wise, it works on a broad range of workouts, and I think that this shoe can work well for a lot of different runners out there. It's just a surprisingly good shoe, and it's unfortunate that there's a lot of videos out there that actually say that this shoe is not good, don't buy it. And I can't say that they're right, nor can I say that they're wrong, because it just feels, to me, it feels really good. And that's the whole purpose of, I think, all these reviews on YouTube, is that everybody's going to have a different opinion, and that's where it kind of helps you be able to make a better educated decision by watching all of our videos. So if you are looking to pick up one of these, I would definitely recommend going through the Nike website. The reason is Nike does honor a warranty up to, like, I think 2 years. So if the midsole starts coming apart on this shoe, you can contact Nike and they will either refund you or send you another pair of these shoes. So definitely, if you can, go through the Nike website and purchase it from there. But check out your retailers, see what they have. If they have these on sale, I think it's worth it if you can get it at a discount. At the full price, I wouldn't purchase it. But I always say, never purchase a pair of running shoes at full price, or never pay full price for running shoes. That's what I say. Anyways, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys staying tuned. Happy holidays. Hope you guys do well out there. Have some more content coming soon. Thank you again. Enjoy the run.